There's nothing I love better than an unloved model. I picked up this Tyco E7 years ago, and it was basically in some trader scrap box. And I got the usual spiel: Tyco models are dreadful, they have a terrible motor inside them, a thing called a power torque motor, and you'll never get them to run properly. It's not up to today's standards, the usual thing. This thing came out in the 1970s, and this is one of the original 1970s models. So I've had it lying around for years, and it was in, frankly, a bizarre Burlington Northern paint scheme. Well, actually, it's quite attractive, the paint scheme, but it wasn't authentic in any way. So I decided to do something with this model. Now, rather than let it be chopped up or anything, I decided to keep it intact as a Tyco model, and also to respect its origins at some point, but give it some use in my layout. Now, as I model, basically, for the most part, 1960s and 70s US rolling stock and trains, although anything can appear on this layout, and will in the course of time as this channel develops, I decided to show some respect for this model. So I repainted it in a Penn Central patch job representing E7 number 4243, and I painted it in Games Workshop contrast paints, painting the grills and the vents black and using some decals I've had for a long time. Let's come around here, back in the light. You can see the Penn Central patch decal there on the very faded Tuscan red of the Pennsylvania Railroad. Penn Central being a merger of the New York Central, a disastrous merger of the New York Central and the Pennsylvania Railroad in the 1960s. And I used microcrystal clear, a kind of a PVA type product, to give it flush glazing. And even though it still has the rather strange, I'm using a selfie stick here, the rather strange Tyco trucks, it nonetheless has plenty of charm. Also, this thing cost me about €5, or $5 US. And even better than that, after I took the Tyco power torque truck apart, cleaned it up, reconditioned some of the cogs, which I will show in videos on this channel later on, it's not a bad runner. It's actually way better than I hoped it would turn out. It's not a bad runner. In reality, towards the end of their life, these were downgraded and often re-geared to run freight trains. So I didn't even replace the magnets, which a lot of people do with Tyco trains. They get, which I've done myself actually with a couple of them, not this one, with Tyco slot car magnets, and they get better performance. I didn't bother with this one, just cleaned it, and I oiled it with blasphemy, 3-in-1 multi-purpose oil. I can tell you from years of being in this hobby, all these fancy lubricants, they're just a rip-off. So without further ado, '70s Tyco power torque motor. Quiet, pulling a decent rake of freight wagons. Around high, humble layout. With without a bother. Now honestly, I have not run this train for a week. I haven't cleaned the track, and I just came out, and what you're seeing is the train itself running now with the basic service I gave it a while back. I will say one thing about these Tyco maintenance jobs, and I will cover it in depth in a film, a special video later, and that is to make sure the metal wheels are adequately cleaned. I actually couldn't be more happy with the results of this basic repaint and basic rebuild. Look at that go. That's a crawl on a 1970s Tyco Power Torque. €5. How can you go wrong?